So you and I go way back. For those of you who don't know, Jay and I grew up at the same church. How did your upbringing play a role in your success and the woman you are today? The woman you are today.
So we're Seventh-day Adventists, and I believe that being Seventh-day Adventist has some great benefits.
Definitely.
We are really big on the health message and education. So I feel like I was always advanced in all my classes. Before I even started school, I think I even skipped a grade. I was advanced, and I got Christian education, so I went to Adventist schools. I went to an Adventist elementary school.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got a great education. Like, education is instilled in, our faith and our religion. And also, I'm a vegetarian, also because of my religion. I don't wear jewelry. I don't get tattoos because of my faith. So I feel like from a young age, because of our faith and our walk as Seventh-day Adventists, you get disciplined quickly. You learn to say no to so many things because of it.
You off track.
Yeah. On the downside, I feel like there has been a lot of fear instilled in this religion, and a lot of it has to be done this way. Right. So spiritual gifts like poetry has not been like really encouraged or nurtured. Artistry, things like that haven't really been like very supportive, and there's a lot of fear of you have to get married. If you don't get married, something's wrong with you. You have to marry a Seventh-day Adventist. You have, there's a lot of have-tos. And there's not really a lot of support for young people in this generation. So I feel like my religion made me different. Especially going from Adventist school to public school.
Right.
A lot of people are like, whoa, I've never met a black vegetarian. I've never met anyone who was still a virgin. I've never met anyone who, didn't have their ears pierced.
And I feel like that's a witness in itself without even saying anything. And I think that that's also one of the benefits as well. So I'm going to keep letting you go.
Yeah, so I feel like my faith has heavily impacted my personality because it impacted my choices. I couldn't go out on Friday nights because of the Sabbath, but I was out on Saturday night. So people would always laugh oh, Jay won't be at the Friday turn up, but she'll be at the Saturday night turn up. After the sun went down, I was there. And that's honest. So sometimes, what you don't do is ministry.
Right.
What you don't say. In high school, I was known for not cussing. I just never cussed. And people called me the tree-hugging vegetarian hippie girl in high school. Ministry. So my religion really heavily impacted my choices, my field, my direction. It did impact me with fear that I had to, go into education. I had to go into medicine, even though I have a master's in marriage and family therapy. It's in mental health. I can get my doctorate, and be a psychologist. This ain't the move right now. Right. And that's what we were talking about earlier is I've done a lot of the groundwork that God has asked me to. And now I'm in this season of execution where I want to be a full-time poet, and I want to travel, and I want to speak, and I want to spread God's message in a creative field, in a creative way through poems and my book and motivational speaking. Is that something that's traditional in the Adventist church? No, it's not. But just because it's not traditional doesn't mean you need to reject it. Doesn't mean that it's not something that God has called me to do.
Right.
So,
and everyone's purpose is different, and the way that he goes about executing each purpose for each person is different.
Yeah. So that's something I would say. You have to be an individual with God. And instead of running, I think being an Adventist, if you're not born into it and if you just come into it, it could be very hard for a lot of people. There's just, some people may feel really restricted, right. But if you grew up in it, it's easier. But if you're coming out, it'll be a little difficult.
All right, awesome. So we're going to move on to our next question.